Okay, guys. Excuse me. Welcome to Saturday webinar. So let's begin. This will be a short one now, okay? So anyway, we do have NFP that came in on Friday, and the NFP number was quite bad now, okay? But the reason why the NFP number was bad is also due to all the hurricane and then the job strike, the worker strike that's been ongoing in US. But aside from that, the unemployment rate remained at 4.1%. So that is somewhat positive for the market. I guess initially you can see the market was rallying, but towards the end of the session, right, the market kind of came back down. Okay, it went up a bit during the 8:30 when the NFP number came out, and then after that it kind of like went back down. And one thing that I noticed also that the 10-year yield it continued to rally like crazy. So during the data announcement, the yield kind of like crashed, but after that, not only it recovered, right? It even went beyond and it ended up in a very, very strong green now. Okay, so the yield is going up very, very high. And because of that, of course, gold kind of suffered a bit. Bitcoin also somewhat suffered a bit on Friday lah. Okay, current candle is the Saturday candle, but you can see Friday the Bitcoin also suffered a bit. So the result is that you can see the home builder sector initially it was very green. Initially, majority of the home builder sector was very green, but towards the end of the session, right, it kind of became red also lah. Okay, so overall, last week was actually quite bearish for the overall market. Quite bearish for the if you look on a weekly candle, it was the second weekly red candle lah. Okay, quite bearish, but I think in terms of bearishness, this is just a dip in the puddle lah. Okay, a dip in the puddle. Let's say if market only fall by this much, and then you are blowing up your account, your entire account drop like 10%, 20%, 30%, right? Then that's something very wrong really lah. Okay, so your account shouldn't move a lot during last week. In fact, personally for me, and I think it should be the same for everyone else, your account should be very positive because we got a few earnings report that we actually got correct lah. Okay, and the stocks are moving very big in our direction. So let's go through the portfolio first. So this is on the first weekend of November. Currently my portfolio stands at about 356,000 in total value. So I started this year with 200,000 now. Okay, so currently it's standing at 356,000. So you can see the overall net profit loss I got for this year is about 156,000. Total profit is about 390,000, and the total loss I took is about 325,000. Okay, so you can see average winning trade is about 5.7K, but average losing trade is about 4.3K like that, and I have closed a total of 122 trades. Profitable trade was 68 trades. Losing trade were 54 trades. So my winning rate is not really that impressive, 55.7. But this is the kind of winning rate that usually the professional trading hedge fund they will get this kind of winning rate simply because of the long short nature of the portfolio lah. Okay, our portfolio always at long and short. So most of the time, right, if you are getting money or something, you are probably losing money somewhere else lah. Okay, so the edge comes in where we actually win a lot more than we lose. So over the period of like an entire year, many trades, right, we will still win overall. But the main beauty is that because this is a long short portfolio, we win no matter what happened to the market. Since there are long and short position in the portfolio, market rally, we also make money. Market crash, we also make money. So we don't need to care things like election lah, FOMC lah, whatever nonsense news that come onto the screen, right? It doesn't matter to us. We are going to earn profit regardless of what is going to the market. So this is where our true edge come into play. And even with that kind of structure, right, this year the portfolio is already up by about 78.42%. Okay. And this 78.42% is regardless of the market. If market crash, I'm still going to get 78.42%. So it doesn't matter what happened to the market. Okay. So whether this one continue rally crash, I don't really care because some of my trade is going to make profit nonetheless. Okay, so with that said, let's continue to look at the open position. So now for this week, right, I have exited one position, which I believe you all should also, and that is PayPal. So PayPal, right, we exited one day before the earnings lah. Okay, I have actually told everyone to exit 1 day before the earnings simply because I think PayPal have gone up quite a bit already, and we are already in a good profit, right? So there's no reason to go and risk your position against the earnings lah. Okay, so we actually exited like at the high here. So this is the day that I believe we all exited. Like then the next day when earnings came in, PayPal actually dropped by a bit. And then when eBay didn't do well for the earning, PayPal dropped some more lah. Okay, because majority of PayPal income is coming from eBay also lah. So if you look at our PayPal trade, right, our entry is somewhere around 73 like that. So we do it didn't hit our TP level, but we kind of get quite a bit of profit in. Okay, so personally I got about not really a lot, 5K plus only. The long leg I got about 8,100. The short leg I lose about 3,000 like that. So I'm getting about 5K in total profit, which not really a lot lah, but still, I mean, it's still profit nonetheless lah. Okay, so this is the trade that was exited. But aside from that, I don't have any other trade that were closed this week. But we did open quite a number of trade lah. Okay. So the first trade that we opened was a triple M, a 3M short. So now 3M short is actually doing quite okay. We enter before the earning, and then after the earning, it kind of like gap up, but after that it's closed. It kind of like went all the way down. Okay. And also, we have also added a short leg into our 3M. So most of you should have 110. I accidentally enter 115. So my profit is actually quite limited lah. Okay, if I were to get if 3M were to drop to 115, right, my profit is only 10K like that. But if I were to get the 110, right, my profit will be somewhere around 20K lah. Okay, so the potential profit actually half simply because I entered the wrong strike lah. Okay, but of course with this short strike that we added, right, my risk on this trade get reduced to 2K. Okay, initially I was thinking about 4-5K risk, but by adding this short leg, right, my overall risk is now reduced to 2K. So it's considered, I would say, quite a good bargain lah. So no matter what happened to 3M, instead of my usual risk around 6K, 7K, right, I'm only losing around 2K. But if this trade were to go into my direction to 115, I'm going to get about 10K. So 2K risk versus 10K profit, that is about 1:5. So I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay. And sorry, this one should be A and F. I don't know why I entered A and D. So the next two trade were a pair trade, and that is the A and F short and the Victoria's Secret long. Okay, so it's Abercrombie and Fitch short, and then VSCO long, Victoria's Secret long. So these two were entered together lah. Okay, and surprisingly, right, we are actually earning money on both sides because Victoria's Secret continue to rally after our entry. It has gone up by about 11%. And for Abercrombie and Fitch, it has also gone down ever since our entry. So it's gone down by about 5%. So we are actually earning on both sides here. Okay. But since the expiration on these two trades is still very, very far away, A&F is all the way until February. Victoria's Secret is all the way until March, right? We still have a lot of holding power on this trade. Okay. If we were to earn money on both sides, right, I think my overall profit on this two trade, it should be around 30K to 40K like that, but we need time to let the trade run. Okay, so now Victoria's Secret earning is like coming out on the end of November, so this is something that you have to be mindful. And for A and F, right, is coming up also towards the end of November. So the earnings are very, very similar, okay? So the idea is that we are going to hold both counter through earnings, and hopefully VSCO can rally up a lot higher and ANF can crash down even more harder, okay? So it will be something like Shake Shack and Wingstop. So Shake Shack actually rally about 9-10% during the earning, and the growth was very, very strong. And then Wingstop actually crashed about 20%, about 17-18% during the earnings. Okay. So both of these stocks are in the same sector. Also, they are fast food. They are fast food chain. Okay. And one is crashing quite hard, the other one is rallying quite hard. So it doesn't mean that just because the stocks are in the same sector, right, they are going to perform similarly, okay? Because there are fundamentals that is associated with the stock. There is a fundamental risk involved. So I am hoping similar movement from Victoria's Secret and AMF, okay? So Victoria's Secret is all the way at the bottom. There's a lot of growth on the upside, whereas AMF already rallied like crazy. So the danger for AMF is towards the downside, and in fact, their revenue is contracting quite a bit also, okay? And then of course, we have Roblox. So Roblox currently right now, I'm in profit about 5.8K. So I am intending to hold it longer, and you can see the expiration is all the way in March. So I'm intending to hold Roblox for much longer, okay? I'm not gonna exit it with just like 5.8K profit. I'm actually looking at about 10K, 15K, that kind of profit, okay? So I will expect Roblox to climb up even higher, okay? So currently it has broken out from this big consolidation level, and not only that, they are doing very well in terms of earning growth, okay? So if this were to climb, right, I think it can minimally climb to this previous level here, okay? So now that's around $80, $70 level, but you can see that our short strike is at 65. So our target is actually somewhere around 65. So it's a little bit more conservative than what I would expect Roblox to go, okay? But of course, it's not going to go up in one straight line. Along the way, it will probably dip a bit, recover a bit, dip a bit, recover a bit, okay? So please bear that in mind. Also, don't expect every trade to one straight line go up like that. It doesn't always happen, and if it does happen, it's actually more of an exception rather than the norm, okay? So be patient with your trade for Roblox. And ASPN, okay, ASPN right now I have put the I've put the option value to 0, meaning to say I have kind of my intention is to take a loss on this trade for now, but I am going to re-enter it again. Okay, I'm going to re-enter it again. So ASPN unfortunately is dropping by quite a bit, and is currently right around the previous swing level. Okay, so one of the mistakes that I made here is that firstly, my stop loss level is not good. It is sort of like right in the middle of cutting through the swing level. In fact, I should have put it lower. The reason why I didn't put it lower is because the entry price is too high already. So in fact, the correct decision to be made then was to wait for the price to fall further and then enter it at a lower price. But I think at that point I was a little bit FOMO also, so I went ahead. But in hindsight, I should have waited for ASPN to fall further, okay? So now that it is right around the swing level here, I'm not going to blindly re-enter also. I do want to wait for the momentum to improve a bit, okay? The momentum is still on the downside, so I want some kind of green candle to come in and go up a bit, okay? So I will be patient with this. The earning is on 6th of November, so it's the upcoming week, okay? We still got about 2 or 3 days, and hopefully that 2 or 3 days the momentum can improve a bit. If not, I see what I can do before the earnings, okay? I do want to enter before the earning also, because during earnings there will be very, very big movement also, okay? So this one a little bit tricky. I see what I can do with it, but one thing for sure is that I will most likely to exit this current trade that I have right now. Okay, the other one is Matador. Matador is oil and gas counter, energy counter. So the energy trade is from what I understand, right? Regardless of whoever wins, whether Trump or Kamala win, right? Overall, I think energy most likely is towards the upside, lah. But we do have a little bit of geopolitical issue coming from all the Iran and Palestine and Israel and even Ukraine side there got some issue happening also lah. Okay, so all those can lead can sort of spark the oil price higher. So it's not just election. Okay, there's a lot more stuff going on. So don't ever think that stock market is only decided by one factor. In fact, there is like 1,000 factor. Maybe you are only aware of one, but there's like 999 factors that you are not aware of, which is affecting the market also. It's just so that maybe right now the most popular thing, the most popular topic people are talking about it is election. So it doesn't mean election is the only thing that's pushing the market. There's 1,000 more other things that's pushing the market. Okay, so for Matador, I will continue to hold the position. It is a good hedging position against the election risk lah. Okay, it's a very good hedging position against the election risk. Next one is Beyond Me. Beyond Me, I won't go through so much lah. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to crash. Same thing for Bumble also. I'm waiting for it to crash. So Bumble and Beyond Me, you can see Bumble is right here, is somewhere around $7 like that, facing some kind of resistance here. But as I've said, right, Bumble is at the brink of bankruptcy lah. Okay, when this earning come out, right, I will expect a very very big downside also. So if you don't have Bumble, right, it's quite attractive to enter at the current level. But I would suggest option lah. Okay, because if you enter stock, right, Bumble can actually suddenly spike up a lot one. So it's a little bit dangerous to enter a stock position. Option position would be a lot better. So you can consider like strike $6 at maybe January or February expiration now. Okay, and this earning is coming up very very soon, also 6th of November. Same thing for Beyond Me. Beyond Me is in a similar situation as Bumble. They are also at the danger of going bankrupt. They don't really have the cash, sufficient cash to operate for the next 6 months like that. Okay, so within the next 6 months, they have to go and find cash somewhere, take a loan or whatever. And if they can't, right, most likely they need to do something about it lah. So the danger of bankruptcy is really really there lah. Okay, and same thing with Beyond Me. Earning is also on 6th of November, so I'm expecting both to drop very very big on the earning day lah. Okay, so you can see Beyond Me also similar price to Bumble, somewhere around $6. But if you are looking to play Beyond Me, right, maybe you can go for strike $5 lah. Okay, strike $6 is too near already. I think it can fall a lot more. So strikes $5, maybe January, February kind of expiration lah. Okay, so I currently have both. You can see Bumble here. You can also see Beyond Me here. And currently right now they are losing money, but not really a lot lah. Okay, not really a lot. Bumble about $850. Beyond Me is somewhere around $1,700. So it's not really a lot in comparison to my current capital. But you have to decide for yourself. You have to decide for your own portfolio whether you want to just go for one or go for both or whatever lah. Okay, so please sit down and think through. Don't go and everything close eye enter because Zor says so. If that's your attitude, then you probably would not be successful as a trader lah. Okay, so decide for yourself, see how your portfolio is and whether or not you need both or either one is okay. Okay, next, SPY. So, okay, this SPY, I don't want to say too much now, okay, because it is a very simple hedging position. At the time of the entry, right, I have explained this position in a very lengthy manner, so I don't want to go through that whole thing again now, okay? So this is basically a hedging position against any kind of broad market downside now, okay? Then we have Shanaya. Shanaya is a Singapore stock. Singapore penny stock, currently doing a little bit okay. I mean, after the big rally, right? After this very big rally, it kind of like creating a little bit of like a bullish flag like that. Okay, so I'm looking for that next big rally that is going to come in. So we'll be holding this for quite a while, but anyway, this is a stock position, so I don't really care so much. Okay, I'm just gonna let it sit there until the rally happen. But of course, if it hit the stop loss, then I will definitely stop lah. But until then, right, I'm just going to hold this. Okay, so the stop loss is at 0.045, it's still very far off. If you are not in this, right, you can consider entering also, but this is very speculative, okay, very, very speculative. You can see the stock price is not even 10 cent. It's currently at 7 cent, 7.4 cent. So it's a super duper penny stock. In fact, I don't have a lot of risk on this trade, okay. My risk on trade is very little. Even if it were to fall all the way until like 20 cent like that, I'm not gonna lose a lot also, okay. So make sure you work out your lot sizing a bit for this also. And then we have Intel. So Intel is of course one of the other trade that went well in our direction. So it kind of rallied quite a bit, 7.8%, but it's not really like a very big rally also because it has been going sideways for quite some time already. And it is still within this consolidation zone, okay? But Intel is not the kind of stock that move fast. So you need to be patient. And in fact, right, I have recommended majority of you who do not have Intel during our initial entry, right? If you miss out the initial entry, you can actually enter at like last week if you wanted. And in fact, if you enter, right, you probably got a very good position with this current rally, okay? So I'm not really like this is not what I'm targeting. So I'm expecting this to like go up a lot higher, okay? My target will probably be somewhere around $30. Minimally, I want it to close the gap, okay? Minimally, I want it to close the gap. So you can see Intel, right? Intel is a calendar. The expiration I got for my long side was January, and the short side is on November. So when November short leg expire, right, we are going to get the full premium. And once we get the full premium ready, right, we can add in another short leg for December. And that will further reduce our cost and it will further push our risk reward ratio to a very high level, okay? So it is something like triple M like that where we will add the short leg sometime later. So in this case, we already have a short leg at November. We just want the November to expire first before we add the December one, okay? So Intel doing quite okay so far. I will be patient with this, but so far it is going according to plan, okay? And the next one is Crystal Biotech. So Crystal Biotech is this. So Crystal Biotech earning coming up very soon, also 4th of November. So for Crystal Biotech, it is a biotech company, okay? So as with all biotech company, right, we are simply waiting for their drug to get approved by FDA, and then this stock will shoot up like crazy, okay? So there seems to be some good progress on the FDA approval process, but we are not really hearing a lot of news either. So maybe during the earnings, they may give some update that can cause the stock to go up much, much higher, okay? So now the issue with Crystal Biotech is that currently I'm losing a bit, okay, about $4,000. And the strike price that I have is 220. So 220 is somewhere around here. So the strike price is quite high, okay? So previously when I entered this, right, the price was here. So back then it doesn't seem like very far off, but now that the stock actually retraced to quite low, right, the strike price seems to be quite far off already, okay? So what I am intending to do is, holy shit, I can't do anything because it's on November morning. It's on Monday morning. I can't do anything. It's on Monday morning. I thought I have time, but anyway, never mind. Meaning to say, when Monday market open, the earning is out okay. So okay, I'll just let this be I'll just let this be. We can't do anything really. Okay. So lastly we have Allogene. So Allogene is a stock that we are waiting for a short squeeze okay. It is also a biotech company. So we are waiting for some kind of a short squeeze to happen, something like GameStop like that, because the short interest on this stock is very high, but we have to be very patient with this lah, okay? It will happen eventually, but you need to have holding power. So when the short squeeze does happen, I'm looking at least $10 price level lah, okay? Or maybe somewhere around like $7.50 to $10, that range lah. So it's quite a substantial rally that I am actually looking at for LOG now. Okay, so hopefully the news can, the earnings can push it up higher. Also, it's on 7th of November. So for those who are unfamiliar with how a short squeeze movement will look like, you need to only look back at Lumen Technology. Lumen Technology is one trade that we have that we got the short squeeze, and you can see the time that we bought Lumen was at $1.30. We actually bought Lumen at $1.30 sometime around in February. And then we did hold for a very long time. And somewhere around August, it went up all the way to $7. Okay, $1.30 to $7, you own self calculate how many X is that lah. Okay, so that's the kind of things that I am waiting for LOG now. Okay, waiting for something to trigger the short squeeze lah. So I think I have covered pretty much the entire portfolio already. So you can see my open position now is negative 1.4%, which is about $5,000. So if your open position is like negative 10%, negative 20%, then you probably need to go and do some self-reflection now. Okay. In fact, I I TP PayPal. That's why it's at negative 1%. If PayPal is there, then this one will be flat. Okay, it will be flat. But it's pretty common for my floating P&L to be flat or a little bit negative, mainly because each time trade become profitable, I will TP and they will be removed from my open position, and then the floating P&L will become negative. Okay. So is quite normal. But what I want you to focus on is, depending on your portfolio, and you can look at my current portfolio and look at the amount of risk that I'm taking, look at the amount of movement that is happening in my open position now. Okay, at no point my open position is actually more than minus 10%. I rarely exceed minus 10% now. Okay, so if you have a portfolio, let's say you have 10K, and then you are now sitting at like minus 5K, and I am sitting at minus 5K, but my portfolio is like 350K, right? Then you really need to go and figure out your lot sizing stuff. Okay, it's important because a lot of people very greedy, like want to become overnight millionaire with like $10,000 portfolio, but end up losing everything. Okay, so the purpose of Patreon and this kind of webinar is not for you to blindly copy trade, but also for you to compare and contrast the kind of portfolio and risk level, and you can see how I make my trading decision, how I choose what to enter, what to exit, what to hold, what to keep, that kind of stuff. Okay. So try to sort of widen your horizon beyond buy what what's the TP do what that kind of very stupid retail low level stuff. Okay, look beyond that, because there's actually a lot more going on. So now going forward next week, right, we have all the big earnings that finish ready. So I think next week is FOMC okay. We have FOMC coming up on Thursday. So we will have the usual 2 a.m. session on Thursday okay. Thursday 2 a.m. we will have the usual FOMC session, but I do have quite a number of trades that I want to enter. Firstly, I want to enter Zscaler CSP position, Zscaler cash secured put position. I'm looking to enter it with strike 160, and then I will put my stop loss around 150. And the premium is quite attractive okay. In fact, I actually covered this in detail yesterday. So wait for the trade setup to come out, and then you can enter this okay. Or if you already have entered yesterday, then good for you okay. So it's one trade that I'm looking to add. And the other one is actually TLT. So TLT is a, where's my TLT? TLT is the US Treasury bond. Okay, US Treasury bond. I'm kind of expecting this to rebound. In fact, I was expecting it to rebound yesterday, okay, but it kind of ended up very, very red. But nonetheless, right, I will continue to monitor this. If it shows some kind of recovery before the FOMC, right, I may decide to enter TFT, okay? If not, we can wait until the FOMC because FOMC happens during market hour, so we can actually enter this live, and we look at FOMC to see what kind of new data come out, what kind of funny thing Jerome Powell is saying, and we see if TLT recover or not. If TLT recover, then we will enter it as it recover during the FOMC session itself. Okay, I don't want to prematurely enter this and then during FOMC it kind of crash further. I don't want that kind of situation. Okay, I do think that the recent rebound in US dollar is about the peak there already. Maybe it will go up a little bit more, but overall I think it should come back down sometime soon. Okay, so TLT is something that I'm looking at. And the next one that I'm looking at is DE. DE is Deere and Co, Deere and Company. So they are in charge of large agriculture, farming, machinery, construction and trucking. Okay. So they are facing quite a lot of contraction in their product sales, and not only that, right? They do have substantial debt interest payment that they are facing. I don't know what are they doing, but I mean I know what are they doing, but I don't know how on earth did they end up in that situation lah. So in terms of their finances, they are not doing quite well lah. And the fact that for the past few months, right, it kind of like ready for no apparent reason. There's no justification behind this rally lah. Okay, so given that it's somewhere around at resistance level there already, right, I think good chance that it can come back down. Okay, so this is a short position that I am looking to enter. And aside from that, right, I do have quite a lot of other stuff, but I don't want to sort of prematurely share also lah. Okay, simply because I have a lot of position in my portfolio already. You can see I have a total of 10 position here. I have 5 bullish trade and 5 bearish trade. Okay, so my portfolio right now is a neutral portfolio, very, very neutral. But of course, I may want to make it slightly bullish bias. I will try to see whether I can find any more bullish trade or not. But right now, I'm looking at TLT lah, okay? But TLT is not really a stock, it is a treasury. So for treasury, right, whether bond prices go up or down, right, is not the same as stock lah. Okay, sometimes bond prices can go down and the market is still very bullish, or bond prices can go up and the market is still very bullish. So that is not like a one-to-one kind of comparison lah. So TLT, I will just not consider it as a bullish or bearish trade lah. Okay, because it's a little tricky. But Deere and Co is one bearish trade that I'm looking at. Aside from that, right, other bullish trade, I don't really have anything at the moment. You can consider Zscaler cash secure put a bullish trade also lah, because you are going to profit from the cash secure put if Zscaler rally lah. Okay, and Zscaler earning is on 27th of November. Also at the end of November. So we do have quite a lot of earning coming up in November lah. Most of them kind of like clustered towards the end of the month. Okay, so another one that I'm actually looking at, right, is the China market. It's a China market. You can either look at the EES, which is the emerging market, or sorry, EEM, which is the emerging market, or you can look at FXI, which is just mainly China market. Okay, so what I do think happening here is that it is just profit taking. Okay, just profit taking. I mean, this whole thing rally 50% in like just 2 weeks alone, definitely you will see a bit of profit taking coming in. Okay, but not only that, right? I do think there's a lot more stimulus package coming out from China. So I am looking on the bullish side for China market. Okay, it is just that right now the technical doesn't align. So I don't really want to prematurely enter here, but look out for things like FXI if you are looking at the overall index, or you can look out even larger scale. You can go for the emerging market, which is the EEM, or you can go for individual stock like Pinduoduo lah. Okay, Pinduoduo also went currently going down, but at some point I think it will recover back up lah. Okay, so another Hong Kong stock that I can recommend is Lenovo. Also, the for Lenovo, I actually got quite a big holding on Lenovo, but mainly for long term lah. Okay, so after the recent rally, right, it kind of retraced back a bit, and then you can make use of this opportunity to enter Lenovo lah. So Lenovo is on the Hong Kong market. The code is 992. So make sure you are familiar with the code lah. Okay. So aside from that, nothing much really. In summary, I will probably add one long, one short to my portfolio lah. Okay, and we see how the we see how the FOMC goes, and then we can decide further lah. Okay, and by then, right, some earnings will be come out already, so maybe we can exit some of the position. We see how lah. Okay, maybe Crystal Biotech we can exit, or some other position we can exit, and then we can add more lah. But currently, right now, since I have a 10 position in my portfolio, is a little bit overloaded. So I do have a lot of watch lists, a lot of stocks on my watch list, but I don't want to anyhow suka enter lah. Okay. So that's all I have. Have a great night, everyone. And all the best next week. Look out for the FOMC webinar lah. Okay. Have a good night. Bye bye.